And someone, investigators from DPCI and General Kadwa arrived with his team. When they were busy processing the scene, the superintendent from the National Traffic, namely Mashaba, called the provincial commissioner, claiming that they were tracing this truck and they wanted to arrest the suspect. Now they have been arrested. And that time it happened, I was with the provincial commissioner and the deputy provincial commissioner at Pretoria Mode police station, where we were launching a vaccination station. Then the PC was on sick leave. He came for that event. And he gave the phone to General Mtombeni, who was the acting GPC. General Mtombeni gave me the phone and said, "This is Detective Meta, deal with it." After listening to it, I said, "Who is at the scene?" Then I was told General Kadwa is there. I phoned General Kadwa, who explained to me, "No, we are going to arrest these people. They were stealing the drugs." And they end up being arrested. And this guy kept on phoning. I even phoned General Kadwa to say, "Hey, you are suspect, take away the phone. He's bothering us here." So after that, when their case was withdrawn, they opened a counter case of defeating the ends against General Kadwa Kana and the people who were there from DPCI. That is when the General Khan was charged departmentally, and General Kadwa and Sukhobel. Then I was also cited as one who didn't want to take the instruction of General Mawela to go and visit the scene so that they can be released. So IPD, when doing investigation, they came to take my statement, and I explained I didn't have any business. That was mandate of DPCI, and the DPCI was making arrests, and the people were arrested. So I was trying to demonstrate here that inference that he was from organized crime, head office, that, because my name further is mentioned, and it will be the same organized crime I'm running, which always is found to be in the wrong side. So hence, I wanted to clarify it to the commission.
Yeah, I'm not clarified on it, because you say the statement created the inference that the organized crime environment under my command was implicated in wrongdoing. However, at the time of the arrest in question, I was serving as the acting Deputy Provincial Commissioner, Crime Detection in Gauteng. So, but then you said that the member was from serious and violent crime, right?
Yes.
So, under which division, under who did the member fall under as serious and violent crime?
Serious and violent crime is a component within the Division Detective Service under General Motsepe.
Under General Motsepe?
Yes.
Okay. So why didn't you say in the statement that the member was actually from serious and violent crime, not from organized crime? You don't focus on the member here. That's what I'm struggling with.
Okay, I think, yeah, because also I wanted to attach the SAPS 92, which I have as an exhibit to show where you worked.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that the statement should have just said the member that's implicated is not from organized crime, the member was from serious and violent crime. But you don't say that, you're rather saying that there mustn't be any implication relating to you because you weren't in charge of organized crime at the time.
Yeah, I think mistake was made when we were editing the written one, because there I indicated that.
Okay.
I even attached the SAP 96 as evidence.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm not sure if it was sent also as attachment, that SAPS 6 of that particular member.
I'm not sure that we've received it, but we'll have a look at it. It's just I wanted clarity on that aspect. It's fine, we can proceed.
Yeah, I'm having it. We can produce it later.
Sorry, before you proceed, General, you say the statement created the inference that organized crime under your control or command was implicated in wrongdoing. The statement itself, did it mention you by name?
No, it mentioned it when that was mentioned. It was further mentioned that a senior officer, the general from head office at organized crime, also called the members who were investigating that particular case of Armand Swart. Also, coincidental also is from head office. So everything in that organized crime office whatsoever. So I wanted to make distinction to say this one is not from organized crime. It's from serious and violent, and it cannot be linked into what is linking me with what I have done during the course of my work and whatsoever, of which I will explain it later as to what happened and why people were called to my office. Because out there, it will seem I'm running a team of corrupt cops who go out to get this wrong, to do these wrong activities.
Thank you, General.
Including myself.
Yes. No, thank you. You have explained or answered my question at least. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. General, then you can continue with 38.
Following the public statement and in the months thereafter, further adverse reference emerged with public discourse and parliamentary forums. This reference contributed to the development of a narrative suggesting misconduct and gross wrongdoing on my part, notwithstanding the absence of any prior disciplinary finding or investigative conclusion implicating me. Only several months later, during January and February, internal administrative processes were initiated. These included my transfer to gender-based violent component, but it was supposed to read desk, not component. Yes. The issuing of the notice intended suspension, the submission of my representation, and ultimately confirmation of my suspension as attached as Annexa RSA. I respectfully record that the information and incorrect public impression that proceeds.
Misinformation?
The misinformation and incorrect public impression that preceded these administrative steps materially contributed to unfortunate situation in which I found myself, namely being placed on suspension, notwithstanding long-standing service record or consistent effort to combat organized crime, criminal syndicate. I regret that misinformation and mischaracterization placed into the public domain appear to have contributed to this unfortunate situation. I place this explanation before the Commission so that the full sequence of events may be properly understood with correct factual context.
Then you move on, General, to deal with the referrals that were made by the Commission, which you refer to as referrals made by the Commission to the task team investigation. That's at paragraph 41, starts at paragraph 41.
In the course of its proceeding, the Commission resolved to refer certain matters, including those relating to me, for investigation by a designated task team. And I understand this referral form part of the Commission's program.
Perhaps for accuracy, our referrals were to the SAPS leadership, directed to the National Commissioner. the task team is a creation of the president. Do you follow me, General? Your heading is not accurate. But that will not affect, I guess, it should not affect the substance of what you are going to discuss.
No,
But I just wanted this to be accurate. So I'm saying our referral was to the National Commissioner of SAPS, not to the task team. The task team is a creation of the president. Do you follow me? Do you follow what I'm saying, General?
No, I understand.
Thank you.
That the referral was to the National Commissioner, and the National Commissioner formed the team based on the referral.
Yeah, that is why I prefaced it by saying what you call a referral to the task team, but it wasn't the Commission's referral to the task team.
Was it a recommendation?
I'm being corrected that the task team was a creation of the National Commissioner, not of the President.
Yes.
Correct.
So I guess
But
I did not follow what happened from the media. I did not follow what exactly happened as to the creation of the task team. But anyway, point of substance is the task team is not our creation. Thank you.
General, so that is why I prefaced it by saying you referred to it as referrals made by the Commission to the task team. And Chair's point is that the Commission didn't make any referrals to the task team. The referrals were made to the National Commissioner, and the task team is a creation of the National Commissioner.
Yeah.
But it need not detain us for purposes of your evidence, because the correct position will be reflected. But you can read what you understood it to be.
Yeah, no, we will rephrase. Because
No need, General. You just read it as it says in your statement. You've been corrected, and that's fine.
Okay.
Nothing turns on it.
All right. Should I continue?
Yes, please.
I understand this referral to form part of Commission's broader mandate to ensure that allegations raised during the inquiry are independently assessed through appropriate investigative structure. I wish to record that the referral itself does not constitute a finding of wrongdoing against me, but rather reflects procedural steps by the Commission to allow further investigation of issues raised in testimony and public discourse. Nonetheless, the existence of the referral has contributed to the continuation of adverse perception regarding my conduct and has formed part of the consequence of events that culminated in my current suspension. I will cooperate fully with all process arising from the referral, remain prepared to assist any investigative body so that the matter may be objectively assessed and resolved on the basis of verified facts rather than allegation or speculation. I respectfully place this context before the Commission to demonstrate how the accumulation of public allegation, institutional responses, and investigative referrals has led to the present situation, notwithstanding the absence of any proven misconduct on my part. I now proceed to address in the section that follow each question posed in the summons during with the systemic and the sequence which they arise.
Yes, so the first is you are addressing the issue of whether criminal syndicates have infiltrated or exerted undue influence of law enforcement agencies, including SAPS, JMPD, EMPD, TMPD, NPA, SSA, and or any other matters related thereto. And you say that this is based on your personal experience, professional exposure, and information. You may proceed. 45.
Thank you. I'm able to respond to this question only to the extent of my personal experience, professional exposure, information that came to my attention in the execution of my official duties, As a serving member of the South African Police Service, my direct knowledge primarily relates to the matters encountered within SAP's operation and investigation. Accordingly, any observation I make concerning the other institutions or agencies are limited to information that became known to me through operational interaction, intelligence briefings, and investigation in the South African Police Service was involved, in which South African Police Service was involved. To the extent that the question relates to institution outside my direct mandate or personal knowledge, my response is necessarily limited to I do not purport to make findings beyond my own experience or awareness. Right,
Sorry, General, just before we deal with that, at paragraph 45, so on page 18, where it starts, as a serving member of the South African Police Service, my direct knowledge primarily relates to matters encountered with SAP's operations and investigations. When you say primarily, does it mean that you also have information about infiltration in your personal capacity, not necessarily only in your capacity as a SAPS official? Because you say primarily, you mean solely?
Which I was involved myself.
Yes.
Which I experienced myself. Yes.
But is that only as a police officer in your official capacity, or would you have encountered it in your personal capacity, in your person?
In my official capacity.
Okay. I'm just asking because you use the word primarily, which suggests that there's an aspect of it that may not just be about your official capacity. So if you said solely, then I would understand you mean you gather that information only because you are a SAPS official. But if you say primarily, it suggests that maybe from a personal point of view, you also have that knowledge. I just want to clarify it in case it becomes an issue later.
Yes, the English from the village. This is the problem.
Well, I'm giving you an opportunity to clarify it so that it doesn't become an issue when we cross-examine you. So that is why I want to know from you whether you are saying solely because of my role as a police officer and the word primarily is incorrect, or are you saying that there were personal circumstances or personal interactions that I had, not as a police officer necessarily, where I saw or witnessed infiltration?
No, it's what was official when doing my work.
Okay, thank you. You may proceed.
Accordingly, my observation...
You've read that already, don't take us back.
Okay.
You're now
Okay.
at the heading Infiltration of Law
47.
Enforcement by Criminal Syndicates, paragraph 47.
Infiltration of law enforcement by criminal syndicate. I am requested to state whether criminal syndicates have infiltrated or exerted undue influence within the law enforcement agencies, including SAPS, JMPD, TMPD, the NPA, and the State Secret Agency or related entities. Based on my experience in the execution of my official duties, intelligence research